Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might know the things that have been freely given to us by God. The idea here, Paul's basically saying, is that, listen, you've received the Spirit of God, and the hope and God's ideal and his intent in receiving the Spirit of God is that you would know the things that God has blessed you with. See, but the problem is that it's possible for you to be saved and yet to be blind to the eternal things. Because what happens is we get into a place where, well, we can just become caught up and wrapped up in the events of our lives, can't we? Jesus told a parable about that. He talked about the seeds of faith that are sown, and just how seed is sown. And he said sometimes seed is sown and is sown into an area where the weeds and the thorns and the thistles, they choke out what grows from that seed. And it's this metaphor of how your faith can be choked out by the current concerns of this world, that the thorns and the thistles represents the cares and the concerns of this world. And we can be that way, where maybe, man, I am born again by the Spirit of God, and God's poured His Spirit into me, and He's given to me this capacity of being able to understand these spiritual blessings that Paul is talking about here in Ephesians chapter 1. But man, I'm so caught up with the cares of this world that I'm not mindful of it. And see, Paul's talking about, listen, yeah, you have been blessed. You need to know that you've been blessed. But God wants you to understand it from that spiritual perspective. In other words, if you live only for this world, you're never going to understand the true blessings of God.